Hey, it's Drackle, and we're playing some Lord of the Rings online. And you might have just taken a step back and said, Drackle, what the fuck are you doing? Yes, I play LOTRO. I have at least played LOTRO. I stopped playing maybe a year ago, so I got a bit bored. But the new expansion pack comes out in a couple days, I think on Monday. So we're going to be playing. I'm going to make a new character and level up and have some fun. And for my Minecraft fans, don't worry, I'm going to release Minecraft vids as regularly as I usually do, so don't worry. But I do play other games, I just don't record them, generally. So, yeah, we're going to record this one and see how it goes. If people like it, maybe I'll post more of them. But yeah, if you haven't played Lord of the Rings Online, it's not a WoW clone. It's not a World of Warcraft clone. It's a very different game. The gameplay is very different. And the main difference between the two is this has an overarching storyline. It sort of tangentially follows the path of the Fellowship through the story. And if you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, you know what that is. But you sort of do the background tasks that the Fellowship doesn't do. You know, you scout for them. You follow up on a lot of the story that's left by the Fellowship. And it's all original stuff done by the creators of the game. But it's woven into the real story of Lord of the Rings, and they did a very good job, in my opinion. And there's a lot of content in this game. They don't just have a bunch of quests with a story and then that's it, you finish. They always are releasing new quests, new storyline. They release it in books and chapters, and it's related to the real Lord of the Rings story. So difficult to explain unless you have played it before, but they're always releasing new content for this game, and it's really a lot of fun. And the classes are really great. I mean, some of the hybrid classes are some of the best MMO classes I've ever seen. They're so much fun to play. And if you like MMOs at all, you definitely want to try this game at least a little bit. It is free to play, so you can sign up. And yeah, of course, there are caveats. You can't get into some of the levels unless you pay for them, but you can play for free. You can play pretty much the entire game for free, at least the main storyline. So it is a lot of fun, and my character is such a fucking hottie. Oh my god. Okay, I'm weirding out there. Yes, I do play girl characters because I do not want to stare at a guy's ass for hours upon hours upon hours. This is much better to look at. And yeah, it offers no other benefit as far as I know. But I've made quite a few characters. If you want to play along with me, you want to say, hey, Drakalia, I play that too. You want to get together and do a quest or whatever? Sure. I'm on the Nimrodel server, and I'll tell you what my new name's going to be in a sec. When I make that new character, I'm going to try to make it with the same appearance as this one. So if you want to come play, that'll be fun. What else? So yeah, I'm going to start a new Warden, and that's going to be awesome because that's my favorite class. And yeah, I guess we'll get started. Okay, I have successfully made a hottie. Yeah. Yes, I've had sex in real life. I am not a virgin. Yes, I do know there are women in real life. Let's get that out of the way. My name, I think, is going to be Drakalia. I haven't checked if it's taken or not. But I think I did a good job on this character. I wish there was a breast size. That's weird. It makes it like kind of saggy. That's good. Yeah, sorry. Also nerding out again. But you can mess up all your character details if you want. I'm going to skip the tutorial because I played this before, but it's been a while, so I'm going to apologize if I kind of mess up when I'm getting used to it again, because I don't even remember the controls. Okay, so your origin doesn't really matter, so I just picked Rohan, excuse me, Rohan, because that's kind of cool. And we're going to try this. Okay, good, the name's available. Woman Warden, and it's I'm playing a race of man character. There's elf, dwarf, man, and hobbit, I think. And each of those gives you different abilities. I like the race of man because they have a special perk. I think it's called a racial trait, and it gives you an ability to restore your health, which is called morale in this game. And they also have other abilities. Dwarves have some damage resistance abilities. Hobbits have, I forget. It's been a while. But Elves are more suited to like ranged combat, like hunters or huntards as we call them. And what else do we have? Hobbits are pretty good for wardens too, and burglars, kind of the thief, rogue type character. The race of man's good for just about everything, so it's sort of an all-around good one to choose. So we're going to enter Middle Earth. Okay, so probably should explain some things about this game. The classes, you'll find they're not too different from other MMOs. They definitely have their own flavors. You have your traditional hunter ranged class. You have your burglar / thief kind of class. You have your tank class, which is a guardian. And then you have captains, which are kind of like buff classes that are good in group environments. And the cool thing about this game, at least in the main storyline, if you don't really like playing with a bunch of retards and, you know, wiping in dungeons all the time, you have an option to play through certain, I guess you call them dungeons or instances by yourself, which is really nice because I don't want to sit around waiting for a bunch of people just to get a part of the storyline done. So that's really cool. Okay, cool. This should be good now. Alright, I was explaining about certain classes. I got Minstrel is the healer, Guardian's the tank, and you have Champion. My first character was a Champion. It's also my highest level. It's a max level as of right now. They're raising the level cap with the expansion pack. It's called Rise of Isengard. By the way, I don't think I mentioned that. But a Champion is just a straight up DPS character. You just run in and fuck people up. And that's what I like doing. But the Warden is a hybrid class, and the Warden is what I'm playing. It could be used as a DPS, as a tank, and a healer. So it's a really great jack of all trades kind of class. And it focuses on gambits, and you'll probably see those later as I progress. So lots of cool stuff with the Warden. I love that class. So up here we have a morale, which is our health, and this is like I guess like mana. I forget what they call it, but it helps me do I think gambits. All right, so might as well get started, right?
Thank goodness you're awake. That fellow Amdir seems very ill.
And this is the starter area. Every race has its own starter area. This is the one for humans and hobbits, I think, actually. No, hobbits start in the Shire. Okay. So I think just humans start here. So we have to do these bullshit quests to get to the real world. So, yep, blah, blah, blah. And I have our quest trackers up here. I'm going to try to zoom in. Okay.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill.
Okay. So this dude got wounded by one of the Black Riders. They're called the Ring Wraiths. That's what they're called. And this is Aragorn. This is Viggo Mortensen right here. So you do meet the real characters in the game.
There are too many deeds to be done. All pressing, and none of them easy.
Okay, I have to choose which one I want. You have light armor, medium armor, and heavy armor. I think I can only wear medium as a warden.
Perhaps you can help, my friend. Captain Brackenbrook will not heed my warnings.
Okay. I gotta talk to Captain Brackenbrook. I can't remember what my inventory is. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit of a stop and start episode, so I'm relearning everything I've forgotten about this game.
I don't like the look of those rangers
okay, I
one
remember this
bit.
quest. I have to talk to people in the town and convince them that there's a threat from the mercenary company that lives nearby, that they're going to attack the town, which they eventually do. So we're just going to do this
Greetings,
real quick.
friend.
You know what? I'm going to skip ahead. These quests are pretty boring. I'm going to try and see if I can skip ahead to the cool part. Alright, so I thought I'd explain a little bit about the Warden class. It's based off of gambits, and down here we have different, I guess you call them base attacks. I have my quick thrust and my shield bash so far, and if I combine them in the correct order, then I could create a gambit, because right now you see it's a default gambit. But if I do two these quick strikes in a row, you see one appears there, and a second appears, and now it gives me a new attack. I can use this Death Strike skill, Gambit, which does more damage. And the same I can do with the Shield Bash. I can get 2 shields in that Gambit menu. And that'll give me the Defensive Strike, which gives me, it does damage and it buffs my block rating for a certain amount of seconds. So that's cool. And that's really the basis of the Warden Combat. You have all sorts of skills, gambits, including some of the cooler ones are like damage over time, heal over time, and you have group heals that you can do, and buffs. So if you combine them right, you can pretty much defeat enemies that are way tougher than you probably should defeat. The Warden class is a little bit OP in my opinion, but since there's no PvP is a little bit different, so you don't have traditional classes going up against each other. So it's overpowered in PvE, I guess, against the normal enemies, but still can't complain. It's a really great class and I love it. So I'm gonna finish up these quests now. I just wanted to explain to you a little bit about how this works. Alright, so I got a quest to kill some wolves, so I'm going to show you the basic combat of this game. And the Warden has a ranged attack, which is throwing a spear like this, which does quite a bit of damage. And that died pretty quick. Wasn't a good explanation. He didn't drop anything. No loot. Oh, I missed. And mobs generally aggro, but here in the starter area they don't. And of course you have your loot. This is not really all that useful. Just turn in for money. So yeah, this is the basic starter stuff. I'm going to try to skip most of this. But the combat's kind of fun. So let me run up to this one and do a couple shield bashes. And do my gambit buff here. See, now I've buffed my defense. Pretty cool. And the Warden is based off of... it doesn't do the most DPS. Oh, I'm wounded. Now I'm sort of limping. It doesn't do the most DPS. The champion is probably the best at DPS. Level up. But the champion is a little bit weak when it comes to defeating tough enemies because it takes a lot of damage. It also deals a lot of damage. So the Warden is great at tanking, and it's also great at long fights. So with the Warden I could do a lot more. I could take on a lot more enemies than I could compared to the champion. Because one great thing about the Warden, it has a heal which is based on how many enemies are attacking you. And the more enemies you hit with that group heal, the more healing you get. So it's kind of like almost cheap. The more enemies you fight, the better, the easier it is. But against one single mob, it's not the best. The champion's probably better against a single mob in terms of DPS. And the Guardian's probably best against single bosses. Yeah, so I just want to explain that quickly. I hope you're not getting too bored already. I see you, baby. Shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. Alright, so I'm about halfway through the starting quest. I just thought I'd give you a quick rundown of how all the stats work and whatnot. You have your ratings here, your offense, critical hit ratings, and you can mouse over them and it tells you what percentage chance that gives you to do stuff like increasing your offensive rating, increases your melee damage, increasing your incoming healing rating, obviously, you know, pretty obvious stuff. Block, evade, parry, and you increase these generally speaking by getting equipment. There's also some deeds and traits that do that. But here are your main stats. You got might, agility, vitality, will, and fate. Pretty standard 5 attributes that you see in most games. Might is your melee damage, your ability to block, parry, reducing incoming damage to you. Agility is mostly for ranged characters. Vitality is good for all characters, gives you more life, that kind of stuff. Will and fate are the sort of magical ones. Fate is more for tactical attacks, so minstrels and runekeepers do a lot of tactical damage, so that's good to have. This is more for healing classes. Will, it increases outgoing healing, so that's very important for, you know, healing classes like minstrel or even runekeeper. So human is not the best if you want to do like a minstrel or a runekeeper, because you start off with low will, unfortunately. That's not really an issue for the Warden too much, but I definitely want to raise this because of how my group heals will go. So for Warden, at least, I need basically I have to stack most of my attributes into might and vitality for the most part, with a little bit of agility and a little bit of will. So that's more or less what I'm going to do, and fate's also good. But might and vitality are my two big ones. And so you get the choice to do that when you pick up pieces of armor and clothing. You can just choose the ones that give you the stat that you want. So that's kind of cool. What else did I want to talk about? I'm a bit of a pack rat, so I'm going to be keeping a lot of crap in my inventory. So be prepared for that. You can also use cosmetic outfits, which is cool. So like here's my equipment outfit. It looks kind of bleh because I have an ugly cape and all sorts of stuff, but I'd rather have this outfit, so you can choose what your character looks like. That's really cool. I think that's about it. There's really pretty straightforward stuff. Crafting. And we have class slots which give you usually stuff that you craft. It gives you certain abilities for each class, which is nice. Special abilities. So I'll talk more about that when we get around to that. And I'm going to try to do more crafting this time around. I usually don't pay much attention to the crafting system, but it's actually very useful. The different professions that you could choose. So without further ado, I'm going to go finish these quests. I just want to give you a quick overview of the basics of the game, since most of you probably haven't played this. Alright, so I want to close out this episode. We're going to fight some spiders in a quest. But I wanted to just mention, this game really is visually stunning. And especially since this game came out in like 2007, I think. And this is the standard resolution. There's also a high resolution install you can use. But it kept not crashing, but I couldn't get the downloader working, so I just used the standard one. So you can only imagine how awesome the high res would look, because this just looks amazing. Just wait till you see Rivendell. The first time I saw Rivendell, I almost shat myself. It's breathtaking. Alright, so we're going to kill some of these spiders. And this episode has been kind of slow, of course. But that's how it is. Whenever you start out in something new. Next episode we're going to do the closing of quest of the intro series of quests. And that's it's when the mercenaries attack the town. And there's a lot of fire and killing and butchering to be done. That's my heal over time skill I just used. Gambit, sorry. And it you can see +8 above my head. It lets me heal as I fight. I can, use that skill, then attack with something else, do damage, and then spam that skill again to get more heals. Very useful. Alright, so we're going to kill all these spiders. And I hope you've been enjoying this so far. I definitely plan on making more of these videos of this game. And it's just going to get better and better as I go. Because this game gets it really gets fun probably around level 20, 25. And 65 is the max right now, level. Until the X-Pack comes out on Monday or Tuesday, then it really raises to 75. But the path you take is, you start out in these, depending on your race. I start out in a human village area, and we run around the countryside for a little bit, and then around level 15 we go to Bree, which is the town that they go to in the beginning of Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship movie. And then from there you branch out, you go to the Troll Shaws, you go to the Lone Lands, wherever you want to go. There's different areas for levels, just like WoW. And, okay, so after that, then the Troll Shaws, you go to Rivendell, which is really awesome. Then after Rivendell, I'm trying to remember where you go. I don't really remember off the top of my head. But around level 50, you get to the Mines of Moria. And if you've seen the movie, you know how awesome those mines are. And it's the visual representation of the Mines of Moria in this game is stunning. It's breathtaking. It's just amazing, and that's the most fun place for me in this game, the Mines of Moria. There's so much to do, so much to see, and the atmosphere is just incredible. So that's our long-term goal here, and I should be able to get to level 50 to get to the mines, I don't know, a week or two. Doesn't take me that long. I'm pretty good power leveling, I always have been, so we'll see. But I just wanted to cut this up here so the video doesn't get too long. And next episode I'm going to start with the end of the intro series, where we're defending the town against the mercenaries, so that'll be fun. So this has been Draco, and I will see you guys next time. Peace! There we go. Level up. Good timing.